Welcome to your practice. This is hands down the all-star, cover all the bases, wake your body up for a day of safe and easeful and joyful movement practice. So we'll keep it short, working with all the major joints of the body. Let's start with the hands. Take your palms forward like you're holding plates, and then curl your pinky finger in, second finger, third, fourth, fifth. Now unfurl your thumb, pointer, middle, ring, pinky. Now here's the challenge. Do it behind you. So curl and push, curl and push, curl and push. Now you could spend 5 years working with this one. And I have. So it's a challenge. Can we go the other direction? Just notice the brain's going to be like, what's going on your first few times? The ankles and wrists are the most important joints in the body in terms of the brain's mapping to keep us moving really safely. So it's worth taking this time to start with the wrists. From there, let's move to the elbows. Arms reach out, one palm face up, hold a platter. The other palm, turn the thumb forward, turn it down, turn it behind you until it twists the shoulder. Go ahead and look over towards that hand you're holding the plate. And slow exhale. Let's try switching the whole format. Notice this back shoulder moving forward. Let's keep it going side to side. Now I am working as much as I can to keep those hips square forward as I rotate through the shoulder joints. It helps to press the feet into the floor, both. Good. Last full cycle. Really exaggerating that movement now. Awesome. That was the shoulders. Let's move to elbows. Hands come up, and then as if you're heading into Anjali, release through center line. Keep the elbows as lifted as possible. You're going to bring that all the way round into a Ferris wheel, and then all the way back down. Good. Meanwhile, our feet are planted into the floor, tailbone heavy, like dragon tail. Rib cage stacked on top of pelvis. Let's switch directions. Palms come into center, open wide. We're just circling around the elbow joint with the added benefit of working with energy, right? So each time you inhale, energy draws from the earth up through your central channel, out through the crown. Each time the circle moves, we're working with our own energetic field that passes through the center of our body. Huge bonus. Slowly release that down. Let's work with the neck. Gentle here. Tuck the chin to the chest. We'll draw that chin to one side. Notice the shoulders remain as square as possible. Shoulder blades heavy on the back. Slow exhale, chin to chest. Other side. Now, my neck likes to be very, 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 very gentle with this, especially in the morning. There is no need to make this a big movement. In fact, sometimes the best thing to do is really just rest the chin towards the chest and breathe there. As you find center, let your head rise. Let's take the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back. Let's smooth it out. Now, this is the point where our arms, our elbows want to get involved to make that movement a little bit bigger. Awesome. Let it happen. And if you're like me, the body's like, what about me? And it wants to get involved. So if that's true for you, it is totally cool to let that spine be a little cat-cowish here. And maybe the neck kind of responds. Maybe there's a ripple through the spine. It's unnecessary. Just doing the shoulder joint is excellent as well. Either way, switch directions. Shoulder blades back, up, forward, down. It's nice to work with these constituent parts of the movement first, because with joint mobility, it's really quality over quantity. So a bigger movement isn't better It's really about, can we get the full 360 degrees of the circular movement? That's the challenge. You can notice my elbows, arms are getting involved, really spreading those muscles behind the shoulder blades. Beautiful. Finding center now. Inhale, arms come out to the side. Let's flex the palms. Turn one palm up to the sky. And then this bottom hand, like a little curtsy, little Shirley Temple hand here. You're going to turn the fingertips back behind you to the back of the room and then behind. Then press up through the top arm. This is sometimes called cliffhanger. So you can imagine someone's got your wrist and they're holding you from a cliff and your whole body's just hanging down. Take a big breath here, pressing evenly through right and left foot. Inhale back to center. Exhale, flip sides. Again, cliff hang it so you can get the whole fascia of your entire side waist all the way into your outer hip, into your thighs involved. The reason we're flexing the fingers like this is to open up the arm lines that run through the inner, like the lower forearm, all the way into the armpit and then up into the chest. So we're working all those lines by releasing into the stretch. Next, inhale, both arms reach up. Let's stretch up and exhale, forward fold with me, swan dive, long spine, maybe bend the knees. Let the head hang and dangle here. Whew. This is the magic posture, right? So freaking sensational. There's no way around it. Except to bend your knees more, take your feet wider, always welcome, always invited, especially in the morning, just letting the muscles have their free, easy time to warm up. Now, let's rock some weight to the right. Hips will actually shift. You feel that line, that outer line of the leg light up. Shift to the left. Ooh. As you do, let the whole spine lengthen towards the floor. And then finding yourself at center here, let's bend one knee. Let the other leg straighten out. Inhale the hands behind the back. See if you can get a hold. Lengthen them up. And then twist towards the straight leg. A few cycles of breath, letting the neck dangle, the head, this heavy weight at the end of the string of the spine. And a slow exhale, bend both, then straighten the right, bend the left, twist the heart in the other direction. So we are certainly getting, of course, a forward folding action here that stretches the backs of the legs, but also if the hands are clasped, which is always optional, we are getting an opening of the chest and a gentle twist of the spine. Another slow breath here. And then coming back to center, let's release the palms down to the floor, bend the knees, and roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Notice my knees are bent the whole time. The wider the legs, the more the knees are bent, the more supportive of the low back. So just know that going in and welcome it. At the top, let those shoulders return to the roll. Ooh, yes, that roll up is beautiful for the spine. Excellent warm up. Let's move to the lower body. Legs move just a little wider than hips. We'll draw the hips to one side, circle them forward, other side, circle them back, and keep it going. I invite you to stay slow, especially if you're newer to these joint circle movements, because again, we're aiming to touch every single point of those 60 points on the clock face. So you can see that clock face and you're aiming to touch it. It doesn't have to be huge, right? But it could be. So if your body is warm and your low back's feeling strong, your core is feeling strong, you can take those hips on a journey around that circle. Let's switch directions. If you started smaller, start smaller on this side. I notice for me, there's this point, it's like right over here. My hips just don't want to touch those points on the clock. And that is super common for humans. And it would take longer than we have to express it, but basically our body map, the way that our body image is mapped into our brain, this is really what we're working with more than muscles here. But we're working with muscles too. It's beautiful. We can do the same. We can do them at the same time. So really this is a brain warm-up as much as a body warm-up. Finishing up. Good. Let's move down to the knees. Put the feet together. Micro bend, hands to knees. Now let the feet be free as you draw the knees over to one side, drop them to center, bring them to the other, lift them gently up, and then out and down. So we are aiming now for that full circle with the knees as if you are drawing a circle forward on the wall in front of you. That's what we want. Let's switch directions. Whew. Now, focus in on the ankles. I want you to have a freedom of movement in the feet, even if that means the feet have to be farther apart. Try rolling on the outer side of one foot, inner side of the other, right? And then it'll do the opposite when the knees head to the other direction. So we're actually massaging all of these 30-some bones of the feet and all the multiple muscles there that connect into our legs and support us all day long. Wonderful. Let's finish up that circle. Good. It's kind of a workout too, right? Slowly rise on up. Let's focus into the ankles now. This is great because it's balance work as well. Hands to hips, one leg out in front. Let's go ahead and circle that whole foot. Now this is the number one most important joint of the body, and it's the number one most challenging to get the full 360 degrees. Switch directions. We have the added benefit of being on one leg, so we have that added balance challenge. Welcome it. Breathe into it. If you fall, excellent. You know you're doing your balance challenge work. Good. You're getting that full 360 degrees. Excellent. Let it go. Stamp down through that opposite foot. Lift the leg. Let's try again. Circling. If we were going to nitpick, we wouldn't be pointing and flexing the toes. We would just be working with the ankle. But, you know, we're working with a bunch of different muscle groups at one time here. So you can really let those toes point like a ballerina at the bottom. Switch directions. Really flex at the top. So you're painting the widest possible circle. Good work. Good work. Last one. Excellent, beautiful. Let that go. We have warmed up from the head to the toes. If I had my way, this would be all of us doing this every single day. So enjoy your more easeful movement today. Be well. Namaste.